Okay, here we are. AUC, Ballarat. It's cold, it's windy, and we're 5 points into our first game here with Krank from Wollongong in red with disc in hand right now, playing against Colony Plunder, one of the Sydney clubs that split themselves every year and more often than not find themselves in a final or fighting for it anyways. So Wollongong with the disc. It's a very windy day. It's been zone all day, and they've tried to get it to their star handler, Timmy Booth, but has just watched it sail away out the sideline consequently. So Colony starts the other way. Wind's at their back for the most part, but kind of coming from the top of your screen to the bottom. And Will Norton on a slow stroll to pick up the disc. So far, a wealth of zone defense employed by Colony, quite successfully stifling Krank, and their conversions have been seamless. Mike Nields with the disc, moves up to Xavier, number 17. He continues to Mikey, keeps his foot in the yellow line, and moves it up to Coffee and back to Mike Neal, just utilizing this sideline effectively. Now it's spreading it. Jimmy Todd Hill to Braden. Back to Jimmy Todd Hill. Backhand to Xavier. Foot 10 meters out now, maybe less. Surveying options. Defense getting a bit tighter. Stall count rises, but Jimmy with a two-hand grab on a lay to keep it alive. Denyer with the disc. Throws to end zone. Braden with the catch. That makes it 5-1. And straight into a timeout by the sounds of things.
Great deep blue! I'll just stop. All right, bring it in.
Okay, back from timeout here. Krank took the timeout. They're looking to get the 1%ers is what they're after from Captain Timmy Booth. They're happy with the way they hold the force when they do. They've generated a couple turnovers, and they want to get back to a bit of that. Obviously, up against a stronger opponent here in Colony, they definitely need to be fundamentally sound to be able to convert anything they give them. Colony will most certainly take. So let's see if Krank can get out there and just throw those 1%ers at about 100% and get them the whole way in. Paul Denyer set to pull. Mark Tubby Taylor getting the blood warmed up there through the legs. And we're off.
Come on, Ray!
See the wind there. That pull's only going about 50 meters at best.
Good, Ray!
Justin Hodge picks up the disc. And Krank are underway. Number 5 with the disc through to Justin Hodge again. He's looking backwards only, but hasn't moved. And Taylor gets a finger on a bit of a lazy pass, perhaps. Not quite what they're after the timeout. And what they had stressed particularly about those fundamentals. Denyer now the other way gets to Jimmy Todd Hill. Jimmy Todd Hill looking for that backhand that was taken away well, but gets it after a pivot. Denyer again with the disc, moves it forward to Ray. Ray gets it up to 27. He's on the sideline having surveying options. A blady little forehand to Denyer in the corner. On the doorstep here, Paul Denyer floats a backhand. Great catch by Littleton to keep that alive. I thought it was surely going to be a turnover there. Ray again to Jimmy Todd Hill. Jimmy Todd Hill on the far side, about 7 meters out.
Just keep running. It's going to count.
Back to Denyer. Denyer's got it up to 27 again. Moved forward to Xavier. Can't close hands on it. But saved again by Jimmy Todd Hill. Now there's dispute whether it was indeed saved.
What'd you say?
My angle says it was down, but I couldn't quite tell. Mike, what did you see there? Was that disc up or down? Saved successfully?
To me, it's always less a question of what you saw and more a question of what you felt.
And by the looks of your cheers, you must have felt that one was definitely up in the air still. And as it is the call on the field, Denyer with the disc again. Looking for options and gets one through to Xavier for the score. Colony with a sizable lead now, 6-1 in this opening game. Mike Neal set to pull, with the wind slightly more favorable for them right now. It is, again, cross field, but a little bit behind their back. And we're in. And Colony race down the field. Tim Booth set to receive, watches it roll out the back of the end zone, and he'll take it at the front corner. This Colony Plunder team here went undefeated at BCI, the most elite tournament on the Australian calendar based on invitation, and only the top 8 teams from the Nationals the year before could get there. Based on that result, this is quite possibly the team to beat of the tournament, as Tim Booth gets with a beautiful backhand break there to swing it across the other side in their own end zone. Dowdle now back to the center. Boothie again, he's going to get lots of touches on this Krank team. Boothie again, and smacked down by Xavier. Call on the field. No contest. Steve Dowdle picks up the disc, and it looks like we're back at it. Dowdle, disc is in to Booth again, no surprise. Boothie surveying options. This Colony zone is moving quick, and this wind is not easing up at all. Fulford to Booth again. Booth earlier in the game, when the first point that they did score was making a living throwing upwind hammers. Those would not go astray at the moment. And we've really he's running out of options. He uses that mini dump to Fulford. He's on the sideline. And then back out, they've got a little bit of room now. Let's see what they can do with the room. Boothie's got it. They're on the front foot. And the zone is caught up with a huge bid, but not any plastic from Jimmy Todd Hill. Dowdle moves it to the far side. Dowdle again. Little dump. Effective short throws right now by Krank. This is what they talked about in their timeout. And this is what they need to continue doing for the next 50 meters of the field. So far, so good out of their end zone, but a long way to go. Nice scoop over top to Fulford. Fulford again, number 5 with the disc, moves it to Booth, back to number 5. Oh, looks for the gainer, but Xavier from Colony Plunder says no thank you. Gets himself a D, as Matt Dowell sends it to Mike Neal, and again to Jimmy Todd Hill, far side of the field. To Xavier, the man who got the D. Nice high release backhand to Petrov. Petrov moves it to Mikey. He's got Jimmy Todd Hill going. Opts out of the throw. Looking to reset. Maybe center. He does. Nathan Linforth with the disc. Linny, blades one up, but gets a fair hand on it from Xavier. Call on the field. We've got our game advisors assisting, making sure everybody's aware of the calls, not intervening unless called upon. And hopefully later in our productions we'll get some more information from our game advisors and some interjections. Linforth with the disc again. Any throw would have been better than that last one. Coffee with the disc now. Linny again. Gets the backhand to Neal in the corner. Neal pops one up to Jimmy Todd Hill. And we've got a goal. That makes it 7-1, Colony Plunder. Mark Evans just sent the pull down the other way. 7-1, the Colony machine continues to roll here against Krank. And their defense is fully set while Krank has it in their own end zone. So Krank with their hands full again right from the get-go. Harge with the disc. Harge gets a nice gainer, 20-meter gainer, 31 with the disc. Surveying options gets it back to Harge. Not much stretching the field for Krank right now. They're relying on these unders. and so far so good hitting them. But a deep option's got to start eventuating to give these handlers some option. And there we have it. He's got one, but he's overshot it. And a little bit of a misread. The defenders reading each other a bit more than the disc there. And Colony gets the disc back again. The weather here is, as we can tell by the internet, is going to be on the upswing as far as the weekend goes on, which is a very good thing because it certainly classifies as inclement at the moment. We've got a big huck. Mark Evans puts in the wind. Cal Spielman gets it yoinked right before he can close his hand on it. And based on this stoppage, it sounds like Callan has something to say about it. Possibly a strip, by my opinion, the fact that I used the word yoink, but it was obviously turned away, only to be given right back with an errant floaty throw that Littlecote can pick out of the air. Tubby Taylor with the disc, gets it back to Will Norton. Mark Evans. Evans gets it to 27. A break throw there that's not going to count for Evans.
That's a lovely shot, Mark Evans.
Mark with a break to Cal. Can't handle the first one, gets the second. Back to Will Norton, center of the field. Nice break by Will to Mark. Oh, gets the continue, loses some legs, and we got ourselves a goal. Crimmins with the goal as it stands now, but discussion on the field. No, goal as it is, 8-1. That's Evans to Crimmins.
Second. Back to Will Norton, center of the field. Nice break by Will to Mark. Oh, gets the continue, loses some legs. And we got
Tim Booth pulls to start the second half. And again, you can see the effect of that wind with the short pulls going that direction. Matt Dowell pops one over top. A little backhanded Neil to Spielman. Back to Neil, but can't pick that one out of the dirt. And Boothie gets a shot. He wants to. I want to see Krank open up their deep game. But they continue to resort to trying to pick away and break apart this Colony defense one throw at a time. 26 with the disc for Krank. Moves it along. Boothie again with the disc. Oh, nice shot. That's going to make it to the end zone for what would be a score, but a pick called when we look to those game advisors with the double bicep flex indicating a pick on the field. Disc is back in, and he puts it again. He liked a bit of a contest this time. Spielman gets there, gets a hand in it. Couple of hooves clack, but no call on the field. Dowell picks up the disc, trots to the line, moves it up to Evans, still on the sideline, centers to Neild. Neild wanted to put it, but goes to Spielman with a bit of a gainer. Now Evans has it. Jimmy Todd Hill gets it. Travel called, back to Evans. Booth and Evans, one of the top matchups we've got on the field right now. Booth, a Barramundi, ex-Dingo, ex-Wombat. Evans, I believe third-time Dingo now. And Mike Neild pops it up. Evans to Neild for the goal. Dingo to Dingo, makes it 9-1. Colony scores again. And we're ready. Will Norton with the pull. A bit of distance this time. Gets it on angle. Gets a nice roll to go with it. Fulford punts it. Takes it a couple yards off. And Krank underway. Looking for their second score of the game here. They've got to put it together for 1.5. And it gets past Fulford. But luckily picked up with the shoelaces by 31. Number 5 fakes the big. Moves it across to 31 and an unlucky bobble drop. Not at all what Krank needs to kind of turn the momentum. Will Norton picks up the disc. Looking to jack it, but doesn't. Has an easy swing to Ray. Moves it to Littleton back in the middle. Gives it directly to Denyer. Denyer back to Ray, center of the field. Xavier with the disc now. Fakes, still looking, dumps it to Ray. He moves it forward to Taylor. Taylor and Colony with the disc about 25 meters out now. Puts a flick, gets away from him. Krank gets a turn, another shot at it here with the wind at their back. Whoa, the first throw gets away again, unfortunately, and Colony right back with the disc, looking for another upwind breaker.
Hey, stretch it wide.
Will Norton collects, fakes the flick, puts a big one. It's got a bit of edge on it and gets picked off by the wrong receiver there in red. 16 now for Krank to Fulford. Fulford puts it. He's got 31. Was open, but the pass just a bit too far outside. Where it rests now under the watchful eye of Ruben Berg, our game advisor. Ex-Wolfduff rules master, guru. I'm not sure either of those words are official title, but that's how we all interpret it when we see Ruben. Ray now with the disc. Ooh, a floaty one, maybe two. Floaty, a chance for a D, and a D indeed. But he's picking it up as though that foul could not possibly be contested. A foul call assuredly by Ruben's hand signals, and it looks like no contest. Will Norton jacks it backhand, going up a lot of red there. Not enough blue. And Krank, another shot to do something. Oh no, and that they may as well have just let that huck count. Now Colony on the doorstep. Oh, a little bit of contact there as Tubby Taylor picks it up in front of Dowdle. And I guess that counts for the score. Slightly anticlimactic, but those low fives would indicate it's a goal. Goal conceded by Krank. That makes it 10-1. And Colony set. Oh, we've got a big lead with 10-1 now, and I've found some time where Mike Neal's got some sideline time here to get a few of his thoughts. Mike, tell us about how Colony Plunder's gone so far this year with your couple lead-in tournaments, and maybe some of your expectations for this weekend.
It'll be a challenge for the viewers to pay attention, given the tension on the field at the moment. But in between what's going on out here, Colony's having a really positive year. Every time we rebuild two new teams, things change, the atmosphere change, new players come in, new leaders take control, and we're seeing some really wonderful new fun ideas happening. So on field, it's been great so far.
Excellent. You guys went undefeated at BCI your last tournament. I did also hear that you guys have been winning the bulk of the Colony scrimmages. but that there has been an indication from history that usually the winner of the scrimmages gets the smaller bone in the final. Tell me your thoughts on these superstitions and how that might play out.
It's got to be a natural tendency of humans, isn't it, to pile disaster on the end of perpetual success. Things are going great, things are going great, things are going great, and then perhaps that means you preclude yourself from trying when you need to. So far things have been going great, and our challenge is to just continue to stay focused. So yes, right now we're better than the other Colony team. And we'll find out if that remains the way it is.
Excellent. Well, we wish you all the best of luck for the rest of this campaign, and hopefully we get to see you while we're doing the final. And if we get some more time, we might be able to talk to you about what's happening with the Dingoes and moving forward to London. Thanks, Mike.
Well, thanks for having me here on Alti TV, and that would get me to weeks. I love a little dingo kid.
Good man. Good luck. Foul called. Timmy Booth with the disc. No contest, and he cranks it. He puts it. He's got a chance. He's got a man. Defense is there, but number 10 hangs on. And Krank tack on their second goal of the game and get to play some defense from the pull.
Yeah, boys. Nice line, Brendan. Here we go, Blue.
Missed that one. Mikey just gave me the little woofed up video too.
Let's go, boys.
And my refresher course. Justin, what's number 10's name? Parsons again, okay.
Well, call it, I guess.
Should have called that one.
Travel. Pick. Goal. Foul. Okay. We are in.
Let's go, Blue!
Krank have just put on their second point of the game. And Boothie sends one flying with the wind at his back for once. Collected by Lenny. Nice bounce into the guts there. Coffee to Neil. Neil to Evans. Dowell gets the disc, moves it forward to Mikey Neal. This Colony offense is just smooth as silk. As I say that, it gets thrown into the wind, held up and knocked away. But up until that point, and now Booth has put it with the wind at his back, just a bit too far at the back of the end zone.
Let's get it back, Krank. Nice defense.
Krank, with that last upwind goal, have effectively given themselves a very good chance for two here. 2 in a row to get this one with the wind at their back. As I was saying before, that Colony offense does run quite seamlessly. This Colony Plunder and Colony Pillage have split themselves based on their representative selections. So the Dingoes players on this team are all the Dingoes O-line players. The Dingoes selections on the other team are all the Dingoes D-line players. So what we should expect is a nice fluid offense out of this. We got a contact off of Booth, but play on Kai Young with the disc to Spielman, one of those Dingo members. He moves it to Petrov. Petrov looking to move it right away. Gets it to Dowell, Matty Dowell. Another Dingo handler to Linforth. Nathan Linney with the disc. Wants the forehands. He puts a floater up. Couldn't quite fall down to Kai's level there. Number 8 with the block for Krank. Let's see if they just put it the length of the field again and try and make Colony score another upwind, full field upwind. No surprise, Tim Booth picking the disc up. Sauntering to the line where Mark Evans meets him with a mark. Couple handy throws to get it to center. 26 with the disc now for Krank. Oh, and we've put it, but we've put too much on it. And although it wasn't a huck and hope, they've got it at least to the right end of the field to make Colony have to work for an upwind goal. Evans to Petrov. Handy little catch by Petrov. Up to Callan Spielman. Spielman works for his dump cut. Evans with the disc, now jacked. Evans puts it to Spielman. He's got it. There's a lot of stoppage, and we've got the double bicep again. We've got a pick on the field. Pick called, obviously affecting. Spielman sends it back. And we'll see if we can get Mark Evans to throw the exact same throw again. Certainly what the crowd will want. Just about ready to get her in here. Mark Evans very anxious to get it tapped in. Gets it tapped in, gets it to Mikey Neal, now to Kai Young again. Petrov moves it to Spielman, catches it with his elbow just about, puts it forward to Matty Dowell for the goal. Spielman to Dowell, 11-1. Colony, 11-2, sorry. Colony running away with this one. Paul Denyer, a Western Australia import to Sydney, ex-Sublime player, ex-Dingo, puts a beautiful pull, lands and rolls into the hands of number 5. Removes it to Fulford right away. Oh, great pickup there. Falling layout by number 5 again to Fulford. And Colony have gone back to the zone defense now. And it is already mounting a few sets of high stall counts. Nice scuba over the top. 15 collects, and that stall count was high enough that it may be what the issue is on the other end there. The throw is returned immediately. If it was a contested stall count. Contested stall count indeed was what it was. And they get away with a quick one to Dowdle over top. He hammers all the way over to the close sideline. He's got some room. 99, Wayne Gretzky moves it to Justin Harge. Hargy, he's got that fence jumping all around, but he finds a nice little break dump to Fulford on the forehand side. Fulford wants that disc, gets it on a couple quick touches. Now 31's got the disc. Back to Fulford, far sideline, about midway down the field. Gets it to Steve Dowdle. He puts another hammer, so nice, he'll throw it twice. 99 was looking for the quick goal, but didn't take it. And they get the goal there, number 15 from 33, 3-12. And we're in. Krank have doubled their scoring productivity in the second half already with 2 goals. And are really only behind by 1 goal in this second half. Colony potentially have taken their foot off the gas, or Krank has maybe just got their stuff together. Maybe a bit of column A, column B. Regardless, Matty Dowell throws it right into the blocking hand of Tim Booth. Straight back to Booth for another goal. Steve Dowdle to Tim Booth. And Krank have got a little bit of momentum here. Krank set to pull. Timmy Booth, again, no surprise with the pull, and that wind has just picked up again, and that pull, another indication of it. Krank will want to kick that down, or it'll roll the whole way back as Kai Young picks up the disc and gets a short gainer to Evans. He throws a scuba to Jimmy Todd Hill, and in that wind, that was an incredible scuba to fall right in his hands, and a 3-throw goal. Colony strikes again.
Nice run, Jimmy. Nice run, Jimmy. Positivity. So disappointed.
Will Norton with the pull. Oh, handled by just about everybody on Krank there before it's picked up. Fulford now. Sends it to Andy Mitchell, the British import, back to Dowdle. 31 gets his hands on it.
That was close. That was real close to me.
And we've got a call on the field.
Play YouTube. Play YouTube, they copyright violence. That's it, boys!
And we're back in. A little bit of contact there. Looking for the push off 26 with the disc. Dumps it to Fulford, but kind of hits him right in the chest with no room to shut the arms. And it hits the turf as Norton picks it up the other way. Centers immediately to Denyer and moves it on to Jimmy Todd Hill. Jimmy goes left-handed to get it to Xavier. Xavier really wants that backhand break, but gets a forward look to Denyer. That one just flies out of the air and gets picked off by the shortest man on the field. Now Dowdle's got the disc. And he's launched it the whole way. He's got Andy Mitchell, who's got the disc, who's got himself a goal. And Krank get their 5th goal of the game and maybe getting close to making this thing interesting. Boothie set to pull again, and here it comes. Let it rip, and these midfield pulls going this way are as indicative of the wind as are the continuing scores on the left hand of your screen. If it continues this way as it has in the second half, we're probably going to end up with a 15-7 Colony win, unless we can find one of these teams to get themselves an upwind break. For now, Colony with the wind at their back. Kai Young gets it on the doorstep. Mike Neild with a quick continue cut and a quick goal. Kai Young to Mike Neild. That's a nice strong pull in this wind. Fulford picks it up. Gets it to Andy Mitchell just next to him. And Colony have employed a zone going against the downwind offense. Mitchell with the disc. Cross to Harge. Harge to Mitchell. Crimmins puts a little body on the mark. And just picked up at the shoestrings there by 31. Big dump. Krank just moving backwards at the moment. Dowdle wants a big one. Big outside in. Number 10 bobbles and picked off in the air by Jimmy Todd Hill. And moves forward, gets it back to Taylor. Taylor with the disc, 5 meters out on his sideline, moves it to Norton, captain of this Plunder team. Norton to Ray, the Canadian import. Ray back to Will Norton. A little tic-tac-toe between the two of them before a leading pass to that corner. He's on the doorstep and pops it into Ray. Norton to Ray for the goal. 14-5. What's that one? Match point. Ah, I like it. Offloaded like the last Anyways, I'm back on air here, Will Norton. You keep doing some work out there, scoring your goals. Steve Dowdle collects it in the crowd. Fulford now with the disc. Gets a gainer to 16. Back to Booth. Booth loves that upwind hammer. Puts it to Dowdle. Bobbled and dropped Colony disc. We've finally got a slow walk from Mark Evans to go pick up the disc. Colony set in a vertical stack. Ray Ortega there for some handling help. And we're set to go on the Colony attack. Denyard comes in right away and Evans decides to give him a scuba. Denyard puts the big one. He's got Braden. Andy Mitchell, the palm on defense with a great play at the disc. And Krank at the disc back. Tim Booth making his way towards the disc. Krank setting up in a horizontal. Flanked by number 5. They've actually got a 5-man horo happening here. Oh no. It was a 4-man horo. They've got a handler hiding in the corner. And we're off. Mitchell handles a nice one at heel level. Looks for Dowdle, gets a nice easy dump. Dowdle jacks it. He's got Booth. It's fading away, but Booth is definitely there. 5 meters out. Timmy Booth looking for options, gets a dump and a pick called. Tap back in. Krank looking to convert here. Little pop pass, number 5 with Taylor on the mark. Engages his dump, gets Dowdle on another pop. Fires a flick upwind, 16 with the goal. Pull's just gone up, sent out of the hands of Tim Booth. Floating and almost stayed in, but falls out the back of the end zone as Linforth lets it go, and Matty Dowell has a little jog to go pick it up. Matty Dowell playing on the opposite Colony team as brother Ant this time around. As he jogs out to the brick mark, ready to play some flat ball. Dowell gets Spielman with an easy undercut. Then he sends it, looks to get it to Evans, but a hand on it early. Evans still looking for the second chance. As Will Norton taps it in and Tim Booth moves it on. Big fake. Pops it a little backhand under the mark. Look, it gets in around. Oh, and off the hands of number 6.
Sideline! Sideline!
What a hammer comes out from Matt Dowell to the sure hands of Callan Spielman. And we've just seen Colony Plunder take the first game of the tournament, broadcast here by Alti TV. A convincing win in inclement conditions. We'll see you very soon for more action from Alti TV.